So welcome everyone. We're going to start out tonight with our cleft dwellers, followed by the Handbells.
One, two, three, four.
You dare to dream really do come true. Over the rainbow. Wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me.
Thank you for that start, and good evening, and welcome everyone here to our 94th commencement exercises at Landon. Tonight we'll honor our outstanding class of 2023, tomorrow as well, with graduation tonight with the senior dinner and baccalaureate ceremony. And we rightly celebrate our young men tonight and tomorrow as we launch them with hope for their bright futures and with optimism for the men they are becoming. And we certainly lucked out on weather tonight, and I won't jinx it by saying anything about weather tomorrow, but it looks good. So that didn't jinx it. So department-specific awards for performance during senior year were given at our class day last week. So tonight we have a variety of broader cumulative recognitions that'll be awarded, as well as speeches from class leaders and from senior chosen faculty and staff. And then after dinner, we'll conclude with a chance for all of you to share some thoughts during dessert. So without further ado, let us begin. And I will ask that Bill Zeiser come up to the podium to deliver tonight's opening address. Enjoy, and congratulations again to the class of 23.
I'd like to thank you all for dropping by. It was very nice of you. As you know, this is going to be the continuation of the tax and finance talk that I gave earlier. All the seniors have been to it, but I thought, the parents might like to hear about it. Seriously, I'd like to give my sincere thanks to the class of 2023 for allowing me to address you tonight. I was honored to accept. When I think of your class, I immediately think of the leadership you have provided to this community. You have leaders in the visual arts, in performing arts, in athletics, community service, dynamic clubs, and of course, academics. I could talk about the enormous kindness of individual members of the class, some of whom visited me every day, daily, whether or not we had class that year or that day. And they did so, in some cases, for 4 years. You are the first truly post-COVID class. You have set the standard for future classes, for future bears that are going to follow you. Not only are your actions built on legacy, as your motto says, but you also are building a legacy for future bears that they can follow. But what about you, as a class, as individuals? What do I want for you? I have 2 wishes. One will be easily attainable. One, not so much. The first wish dates back to my time in high school and has proven, as promised, to be easily attainable. May you live in interesting times. I can see some parents recognize that one. May you live in a time of growth and excitement, of intellectual stimulation and innovation. For me, the interesting times including putting a man on the moon, the advent of personal computing, developing handheld devices, portable phones, handheld calculators, microwaves, widespread internet access, and the dawn of the information age, and a host of other advances. For you, you're on the cusp of another explosion of the information and technology age, with advances in artificial intelligence, medical research, advances in areas of cardiology, neurosciences, cancer research, muscular diseases, and a host of other less known afflictions. You'll have self-driving cars, supercomputers, and much, much more, many of which we have not even thought of yet. You're going to be the leaders of this period of growth. You're going to be tasked with the ethical and proper use of these advances. If not you, then who? Your foundation here at Landon will prove to be an excellent springboard for you to prosper and be effective in this most interesting future. Like it or not, you will live in interesting times. The last 4 years alone qualify. Not one single year of your high school experience has been what we would call normal. From the launching of virtual learning at the end of your freshman year, to virtual instruction intense in your sophomore year, to hybrid learning and in-person but with masks in your junior year. And for your senior year, half the campus is under construction. Despite this, you've been flexible and good-natured. Learning has occurred. You have made the most of adverse conditions, and I applaud you for that. Interesting times, some good and some not so good, will occur throughout your lives. What you will do with those opportunities when they're presented is up to you. Now for my second wish. May you be forever young. Obviously, the parents are of a certain age, okay? Now, by that, I don't mean physical youth. Both Botox, facelifts, and etc. can take care of that part. I mean spiritual and intellectual youth. This is similar to the wishes that Bob Dylan had for his son, and about which he wrote the song, Forever Young. Here are some of the lyrics from that song that encompass some of my thoughts and hopes for you. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you always know the truth and see the lights surrounding you. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. May you have a strong foundation when the winds of changes shift. May your heart always be joyful. May your song always be sung. Naturally, I couldn't leave it alone, so I added a few lines. May you always strive to be your best. May you always be excited by the future. May you always be enthusiastic about learning. For that is how you truly stay forever young. Now, some of you may have noticed that I may have slipped up one or two extra wishes in there. For those of you who have been in my class, you know addition is not my strong suit. I was absent that day when they taught it. But these are the types of wishes every parent has for their son tonight, and they're mine for you as well. If I reflect on your time here at Landon, I can say that institutionally, Landon has been made richer by your gifts and your presence. And as a community, we'll be poorer for your departure. Godspeed, my friends. Thank you, and good evening. I'd like to invite Ricky Sears to the stage. Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Ricky Sears, Studio Arts Department Chair, and I'm especially honored as a member of the class of 1999 to present the Eleanor Ann Johnson Award. So this is when we shift to the Oscars component of the night with awards from here on out. This award is selected by the faculty and given annually to recognize significant contributions a senior has made in the arts at Landon. Open to seniors who studied the performing and studio arts, recipients must demonstrate creativity, innovation, ingenuity, and receive the award for his artistic merit. This year's recipient has drawings that have been admired for their originality and craftsmanship in local and regional art competitions and in original designs here, making him the go-to student for original art at Landon. In addition to creating the holiday card for Landon this year, he created the honor and respect design in the shape of a bear paw that Landon used at homecoming. He said it was inspired by his experience as a student where honor and respect make up who we are, and they are the impression that we leave behind. This award is named in honor of Miss J, as she was known to her students during her 30-year career in the upper school art department. I know that this year's recipient shows the same broad appreciation for the arts that Miss J showed, and she would be very proud of how this student pursued his passion to selflessly enrich our experience. You will see him later accompany the Cleft Dwellers tonight with their musical selection. Thank you for modeling the characteristics of artistic excellence that make Landon a special place and that your teachers know will be welcome next year when you attend Columbia University. This year's Eleanor Ann Johnson Award is presented to James Monker. Please welcome Michael Derwinski to present the Malcolm Coates Student Activities Award.
All right, good evening. I have the honor of presenting tonight the Malcolm Coates Student Activities Award for constructive participation in non-athletic activities. This year's recipient is a true Renaissance man, accomplished in a wide array of fields. For instance, 8 consecutive semesters this young man has made Honor Roll 1, while also taking a very demanding class load that includes honors, advanced, and AP courses across all of our academic disciplines. I have a quote from one of his math teachers that said, "He is the most organized student I have ever had." And the quote came to me with "ever" in all caps. All right, for emphasis. And I can corroborate that. I had this young man in class as a freshman, and he was unbelievably organized. His notes on the class were better than mine. As a musician and a visual artist, this young man also embodies excellence. Dr. Wu is quoted as saying that he is a stellar music student, his voice and character among the best I have seen in many years at Landon. And I told Dr. Wu I was going to make fun of him. I guess the time he saw this kid's voice was when they were practicing sophomore year in the tents in the winter when it was awfully cold. Being a leading member of the baritones, though, was not enough for this young man, so he also founded and leads the Cleft Dwellers, who we've already seen tonight and will see again. And in addition to that excellent academic record and commitment to the arts, this young man has also been outstanding as president of the Community Service Club, providing exemplary leadership, doing all the behind-the-scenes work that rarely gets recognized. I'll speak more about that a little bit later. And while the Student Activities Award is not about athletics, it would be wrong not to mention that this year's recipient is also an excellent contributor to our athletic program, being named All-IAC as well as All-IAC Co-Player of the Year and a two-time captain of the soccer team, while also winning 2 IAC championships along the way. So it is my honor to present the 2023 Student Activities Award to Conrad Brady. And now please welcome Athletic Director Bill Brady to the stage.
The back-to-back Brady thing was not planned. So, it is my great privilege to present the William Harrison Triplet Award, which is presented each year to the graduating senior who not only made significant contributions to the athletics program, but who has distinguished himself by displaying superior qualities of team dedication, respect for opponents, and regard for the spirit of the game. This year's recipient has excelled as a three-sport athlete over the past 4 years, having been recognized as an All-IAC performer in 2 sports and placed at the state level in yet another. Noted for his exceptional leadership, he has been named captain of all 3 sports and in one of those for 2 years. Coach Padalino had this to say about him. He has had a great football career and an outstanding senior year at Landon. We asked a great deal of him as a defensive end, inside linebacker, guard, almost every special team, and water boy and anything else you might have asked. It needed to be done, and we always got his very, very best. He also holds the highest passing percentage on the team over the past few years when asked to run those fake punts. I think it's 100%, actually. He played with great energy and always put the team first. Even better, he showed tremendous grace and leadership as a teammate. I will miss working with him and his passion for the game. Coach McGettigan offered this. The descriptor that really resonates most here is persistence. He loves his school and his teammates. He is somebody that has made our program, but more importantly, our school better. Selfless to the core, he embraced his role as a team leader. First-line midfielder that made some big plays over the last couple of years, including the game winner over Prep in 2022. It's okay to clap on that one. He pushed through the physical and mental fatigue throughout the year. You could tell that playing 3 varsity sports really took a toll on his body. But he never complained, and he did what he could to push through all the time. A funny and quick antidote to share, and this again from Coach McGettigan, driving his kids to a community service event, I told my daughter that I was going to miss the seniors. She responded, "Is he a senior?" And of course he said yes, and he said, "I'm really going to miss him." She then replied to Coach McGettigan, "Dad, that's not how you should look at it. You should be grateful that he chose to come to Landon and you got to coach him." It's funny how a 7-year-old can frame things much better than an adult sometimes. And finally, our wrestling coach has added, he's the model for leadership at Landon. No one in my 7 years comes even close. Accessible, empathetic, inclusive, gritty, authentic. All you could hope for in an athlete, student, or son. When the team needed him, he sacrificed by dropping about 10 pounds over a few weeks to fill the hole in our lineup, which he then went on to place at that weight in the state tournament. And if his athletic accomplishments were not enough, this young man also chose to volunteer with the lower school during the time for his senior capstone project. And Mrs. Montague informed all of the admin, Ms. Montague is our lower school head, that it's already wrapped up. She's offered him a job to teach in the lower school, and he has accepted. Sorry, you heard that here. So all of us here are excited to see him continue his journey at Denison University in the fall. It gives me great pleasure to present the William H. Triplett Award to Anthony Savoy. Up next will be Mr. Andy Katz, Form 16.
Go Wrestlers. I have the honor of presenting the Carol Mercer Marbury Award for spirit of fearlessness and tenacity of purpose. I am honored to have the opportunity to present to the winner of this award. He has made a great impression on me in his time at Landon. His journey has not been easy, but his positive attitude drives him on a daily basis. When anybody hears his name, he cannot help but smile. He is hardworking, determined, passionate, caring, and a team player. While he has had success in the classroom, as a prefect, as a three-sport athlete, football, wrestling, and rugby, his easygoing and fun-loving nature brings a sense of calmness to the group, no matter how stressful the situation. As his wrestling coach and dean, I know that personally I will miss him next year. I know he will continue to represent Landon and his family well in the next part of his journey at Penn State University. Please join me in congratulating the winner of the Carol Mercer Marbury Award, Ty Reyes. I got excited, sorry about that. And next, I'd like to introduce Elise Hawkins to do the Alexander Aikens Award.
The Alexander Aikens III Award for Leadership in Multiculturalism and Diversity honors a Form 6 student who has exemplified leadership in the areas of multiculturalism and diversity. Mr. Aikens is a member of the class of 1967, and was the first student of color to graduate from Landon. In 2005, Landon honored Mr. Aikens with the introduction of the Alexander E. Aikens III Award. This year's honoree has made an indelible mark in his time at Landon. As one teacher noted, he is good-natured, respectful, hardworking, and he takes pride in coming to class ready to be a constructive participant with a smile on his face. Another teacher said, he has been such a positive force, earning the respect of both his peers and the faculty. I have had the pleasure of working with him and watching him grow in and outside of the classroom for the past 2 years. He brightens any room he walks into with his infectious smile, his positive energy, his kindness, his confidence, all while remaining humble. As a prefect, the president of the Black Student Union, on the athletic field, the stage, and in the classroom, he has served as an outstanding and inspiring leader who personifies all 11 core values. Simply put, he is a Landon all-star. It is with great honor that I congratulate Kokotua Koko Ahmed on his being named this year's Alexander Aikens Award. Mr. John Balashi.
The Student Citizenship Award is bestowed upon that Form 6 student who, quote, has demonstrated by his unselfishness, integrity, courage, and spirit the highest type of student citizenship. This is the Good Guy Award and goes to the senior who has earned the respect of all around him while inspiring and lifting up the entire community. This year's recipient lives a life of unselfishness, integrity, courage, and spirit each and every day, both when people are watching and when they are not. The world simply became a better place when he was born, and the Landon community became even better when he arrived on this campus to our upper school. Since his arrival, he has always exemplified ethical integrity, moral courage with authenticity and earnestness. In the upper school, his extraordinary citizenship culminated this school year as a leader in many ways across campus, including as a senior prefect, captain of the rugby team, president of the investment club, one of the most active members in our community service club. While I developed my respect for the recipient years ago, it became deep and complete this school year as I witnessed firsthand his service as a prefect, sharing his citizenship among all of our bears, from oldest to youngest. During one of our ethics lessons to the third graders, each prefect gave an example of Landon's core value of teamwork. The third graders look up to the prefects as if they are superheroes. But instead of playing that narrative, the recipient shared a personal story in which he was the vulnerable one, relying upon the help and teamwork provided by others. That was a powerful and memorable lesson for a third grader that exemplifies the recipient's unselfishness, integrity, courage, spirit, the highest type of school citizenship. Williams College is lucky to have him joining their community this fall. It's my great honor and privilege to present this year's Student Citizenship Award to David LaPrade. We transition to the next part of the ceremony. I welcome to the stage for the student address one of my very best students, a constitutional law scholar, Nate Rosner.
Good evening. For those who don't know me, my name is Nate Rosner. I want to thank Mr. Katz and my classmates for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. However, I didn't realize how hard it is to write a speech. I thought I would be able to quickly come up with some witty jokes about Mr. Neal's speeches, the endowment, or even our parking situation. But day after day, I would sit and stare at my computer screen, hoping the words would find themselves onto the Word document. As I usually do with my homework assignments, I would eventually close my computer and push it to the next day, expecting my speech to come together all at once. But at the same time, I knew I didn't want to write a funny and witty speech. Not only did it not feel right, but it also didn't feel genuine. I'm not sure he knows this, but Mr. Katz actually gave me the inspiration for this speech. He told me to speak from the heart, and that is when I finally knew I wanted to recognize how exceptional my class is. But again, I came to realize I could not find the words to describe how great a group of the class of 2023 is, nor will I ever be able to. While we celebrate our class as a group of young men, I find it hard to speak for the class as a whole. The truth is that while our Landon experiences may seem similar, they are vastly different. Each one of my classmates has his own unique story of his time at Landon. Each memory and relationship are the culmination of one student's actions. From our first day on the I'm just going to drop that. From our first days on the White Rocks to this time of graduation, We've been building our distinct narratives. We have learned, grown, and shaped our own stories. This is why I think Landon is such a special place. Landon has taught me that there is as much importance in building meaningful relationships than there is in a grade book. Quite frankly, I will soon forget the quizzes, tests, and homework assignments. What I will remember is the laughter of 7 years in Chinese class with Will Cohen, Mehdi, Andreas, Awesome, E. Ming, Alan, and T. Perk. I remember the jokes made on the football field with TB, Savoy, Ty, B. White, Chris, Threes, and Coach Pad. I will remember the wisdom given to me by Mr. Glenn in the parking lot after long practices. I will remember the long and stressful days spent on the baseball field with fellow captains C. Red and Legs. I will remember stories told by Boss Ross in my junior year Apes class with Wabe, Thomas, Will George, and Sebi. I will remember my first day in Miss Burchett's third grade classroom and my last time singing Land Forever as I exit the White Rocks. And I can guarantee if each one of my classmates was asked to speak about their time at Landon, their stories would be filled with friendships, mentors, laughter, successes, and failures. These experiences and memories are the building blocks of the great people we will grow up to be. And at the core of these memories, experiences, and stories are two values. The first is respect. Each one of my classmates respects those who put in so much effort to provide us with an opportunity to attend Landon. Whether it is the staff, teachers, or coaches, the class of 2023 acknowledges and respects the tireless hours spent on us to make sure we are successful. And yes, although we disagree quite often, the class respects the administration for the unthinkable amount of time put in to make sure we become the best versions of ourselves. The respect of the past generations of Landon, the present generation, and future generations of Landon is what has driven our class to make Landon a better place. The second value is gratitude. I fully trust that every member of the class realizes that the opportunity given to us to attend Landon is something that a very small percentage of people are blessed with. But I also believe that we do not communicate our gratitude enough. And so the class is grateful for every member of the Landon community, behind the scenes or day to day, we see them every day, because we know that without your work and guidance, Landon is not Landon. And most importantly, we are grateful for our parents. There's nothing we could ever say or do to thank you for the opportunity given to us. We will never be able to repay you for the sacrifices made, but we will take full advantage of this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I also know these values will never be lost, but they will also never be perfect. And so as we dive into the future, these values and memories will serve as the building blocks for successful careers, relationships, and lives. So whenever there is a challenge or hardship, remember the values gained and lessons learned. And this is why I believe the class of 23 is recognized as one of the best classes to come through Landon and will continue to be for decades to come. In closing, I wanted to offer a piece of advice that I have come to learn and will certainly never perfect. Take risks, accept challenges. Tell your mom you love her, because everyone says there's tomorrow until there's not. Reflect and learn from the past, live in the present, and embrace the future. Love my brothers, go Bears. Next, Next, we will hear from the Handbells again.
Good evening. The Cum Laude Society recognizes scholastic achievement in schools and thus encourages qualities of academic excellence. Up to 20% of a graduating class may be elected for membership, with half of these students being elected at the end of their junior year. I'll first call forward members of the class of 2023 who were elected at the end of their junior year. Gentlemen, please come forward when I call your name to receive your award for Mr. Federowitz and remain up here for a group photo afterwards. Vincent Barahona. Bao Duong. David Laprade. Lawrence Lee. James Monker. Michael Ray. Philip Strabo. Thomas Troern. And Roberto Wick. Now, I'll read off the names of the members of the class of 2023 who have been elected to the Cum Laude Society this year. Gentlemen, when I call your name, please come forward to receive your award from Mr. Federowitz and join your classmates here for a photo. William Abramson. Nicholas Biabani. Dylan Bradford. Connor Bruger. Quinn Kelly. Benjamin Krindler. Seth Kurtzman. Charlie Lynn. Christos Pakogiannis. And Gray Small. Congratulations, gentlemen. It is now my pleasure to introduce our next senior speaker of the evening, Art Keys.
I've been told I walk up to speeches extremely slowly, so I apologize if I took a long time for that. The idea of comfort sparks contradiction. We seek comfort, however, we can only grow in its absence. Unfortunately, our departure is of a similar nature. My class brings me comfort and security. I would sleep easy each night knowing I had a family of 89 brothers waiting for me each day. Said family is, in a word, chaotic, yet beautifully so. I hesitate to embrace a future without Mr. Smith seeking out dress code violations on No Mercy Thursdays, or where people do not know why bears are better than bulldogs or Hoyas, and where in times of strife I can always turn to Mr. Sorkin for knowledge I both knew and did not know I needed. That is a future away from home. However, as aforementioned, it is the discomfort of said future that is necessary. And so, in this weird period where I'm between my present and future, I'm honored to be given the chance to share my reflections on my class. Our objective excellence is clear. An absurd number of championships are a testament to our athletic prowess. Flawed theater performances and frequent recognition of artwork are testaments to our artistic merit, and several scholarships alongside distinguished colleges and universal praise from faculty cement our academic capabilities. The question then is no longer, why are they a good class? It is, who are they as a class? The result of hours of thought and introspection had led me to this answer. There is no answer. That is why we are special. As Nate mentioned, we have no single identity. Our diversity in interests, opinion, religion, amongst a myriad of other things is apparent. No two people think alike. Everyone's experience is subjective. We've often been praised for our unity. That is because we are bonded as a family with such an elevated level of diversity. That should be the purpose of an educational institution like this one, to bring together brilliant minds and create ideas that will positively impact the world. We have embodied the spirit of education, and of that I am immensely proud. You may be thinking, oh, this class sounds flawless. We're not. We've had difficulties. We've made some questionable decisions in our senior lounge. We would take over Miss Osabal's office daily, and we nearly waged war with faculty over storming a basketball court, some semi-allowed boxing matches. All right, fine, they weren't allowed. And the infamous senior skip day. Our true essence, however, shined through in these moments as we had the maturity to grow from them. I would like to share an anecdote. On our whitewater rafting trip a few days ago, I had the privilege of sharing a boat with A.J. Harrison, Ryan Maddox, B. White, the infamous Bayo Ogunlade, and none other than Ty Reyes. Now, it was a fun trip, a trip that I will definitely remember for the rest of my life. Fondly is another question. And one moment that shone through was the social intelligence that my fellow temporary raft mates had. Early on in the trip, we had gone down the first rapid called Entrance, and we made it through. Went pretty smooth, I'm not gonna lie. I was proud of us, and I felt, this is gonna go great. Nothing can go wrong. Yeah, no. Our second rapid, I do not remember the name of. And you may be wondering, oh, Art, why don't you remember the second name of the rapid? I'll tell you why. We had gone down initially, and we encountered a large rock, probably about 6 feet above our raft. And one of us, I still do not know who, decided to yell, back. Now, in case you don't know what that means in a rafting sense, that basically means everybody get to the back of the boat so that we can distribute the weight and somehow save ourselves. That is not what happened. Our boat, or our raft rather, flipped upside down and all of us were thrown from it. Some clinging onto the ropes on the side of the raft for dear life. Others carried away by the strong waters in Ohio, Pennsylvania's rafting waters, whatever you call it. And my personal experience, as I was flung from the boat, my shoes hit the ground, very hard. I lost a croc. I walked home with one croc that day, unfortunately. Also, as I was trying to surface, the waters dragged me about. And as I raised my head, I saw the one and only Bio gasping for air, being drowned with me. I saw Ty Reyes in a fit of laughter, and B. White looking as if he had seen the most terrifying entity he's ever seen in his life. There are pictures. We have access to Vidagami. You can see him. And as we were brought up, we had different reactions. I, for one, was speechless, still processing what had happened, as was Bio. B. White denies being on the verge of tears. However, may have been some adjustments to his story. Our classmates were absolutely, it was the most amusing thing in the world to them. We were being laughed at, rightfully so. If I had seen that and not been a part of it, I would have been laughing too. However, as we surfaced to the boat, the moment of intellectual and social intelligence reigned true. Bio was particularly shaken up, looking down on the floor of the boat, again lost for words. And Ty Reyes, being Ty Reyes, bursted out in laughter as if he had not been thrown about by water just the same way we had moments earlier. As I was wondering why Ty Reyes was laughing, I was thinking, we could let this experience ruin the rest of our rafting trip, or we could laugh it off, embrace the challenges ahead, and take comfort and pride in being with each other for one last week. I had that revelation the night after, the day of. My hair was wet, I was cold, it was not happening. But it's little moments like that that I will cherish, and just little moments like that that make me question my maturity, both intellectual, physical, and being able to combat rafting incidents, and among others. Essentially, why do I share that? It is to say this. While facing challenges is a universal inevitability, growing from them is not. It takes a special kind of person, one who is introspective, mature, and honest with themselves and those around them. Said values are abundant in the class of 2023. We acknowledge, embrace, and learn from each other's imperfections without fail and without coercion. We do not pursue our excellence because we are told to. The faculty will tell you that we are strong-minded, and that is an understatement. We are driven by ourselves and each other, and that mindset is priceless in today's world. That said, we have cemented ourselves in Landon history as one of the best classes to advance through the upper school, and so let today and tomorrow be testaments to our class's greatness. Let us celebrate the culture of excellence we've propagated. Let us celebrate the bright futures awaiting us. Let us celebrate distinction in the past, present, and future. Let us celebrate the class I am overjoyed to call my own, Landon's class of 2023. Thank you.
I can first have Coach Pedalino come up to help me. Sorry, a little off script, but we're gonna try and push on here. So I'd like to take this time to honor the young men who have fully embraced the concept a healthy body yields a healthy mind by participating in a varsity sport all 3 seasons during their senior year. As I call your name, please make your way to the stage to receive your gift, and then please stay up here for a group photo. Anthony Savoy, football, wrestling, lacrosse. Ty Reyes, football, wrestling, and rugby. Awesome Hakeem Florian, cross country, indoor and outdoor track and field. Sam Cohen, cross country, indoor and outdoor track and field. B. White, or Brian White, football, indoor and outdoor track and rugby. David Leprade, football, wrestling, and rugby. Arthur Smink, soccer, hockey, and lacrosse. Ethan Udler, soccer, squash, and rugby. Sebi Kennery, soccer, hockey, and rugby. Tommy Trowern, soccer/football, hockey, and rugby. Nico Shermer, soccer/football, wrestling, and lacrosse. Bioagan Laude, football, indoor and outdoor track and field. Coco Amadou, football, wrestling, and rugby. Come on, Coco. All right, please give another round of applause to these Iron Men of Landon Athletics.
It is my honor to present the Patrick Tanner Community Service Award, named for Patrick Tanner, 1996 Landon graduate, who in his time here tirelessly and selflessly devoted so much of his time to serving others. Some of you may recall I was up here earlier and I mentioned something about Conrad Brady being the president of the Community Service Club. And I said I would speak more on that later. Well, now is later. And Conrad, why don't you just come on up here? During his 4 years in our upper school, there's scarcely a community service event that does not have Conrad's stamp on it. From a wider circle to the Sri Lanka School Supplies Drive, our annual Thanksgiving Basket Drive, our Game for the Cure, Red Cross Blood Drive, and in particular, Families for Families, which was a nonprofit actually founded by a Landon family during the height of the pandemic, and something that Conrad took over as his major community service project, aside from being the president of the Community Service Club. And as Mr. Belaski and I have often remarked when you're not around, quite possibly the best community service club president he and I have ever known. Be tough shoes to fill in the future, but anyone who follows you, if they can just get like halfway to what you've done, then we're in pretty good shape. I did want to speak a little bit more about your work with Families for Families, because that really illustrates Conrad's commitment to service. In his 2 years running Families for Families for us, he has organized and led and participated in these events where people come here to school and they donate food and other essential goods for area families in need. And over the last 2 years, through Conrad's efforts, our Families for Families program has provided over 15,000 meals to area families in need. That's a tremendous amount of effort, tremendous amount of work that Conrad has put into this. So it is my pleasure to announce that he is, as you already know, right, the 2023 Patrick Tanner Community Service Award winner. And now welcome Mr. Belaski back to the stage.
The Carrie McGuire Ethics Award is presented to that Form 6 student who has demonstrated the highest standards of ethical integrity through his expressions of honesty and respect and his active cultivation of the virtues of perseverance, teamwork, honor, and fair play. Let me begin by saying that many of this year's seniors are worthy of this award. In particular, I want to thank all of the prefects and everybody who's ever served on the student council for their ethical leadership throughout the last 4 years. You guys in this class has been simply outstanding. But we did have to choose one. So this year's Carrie McGuire Ethics Award goes to a young man who personifies rock-solid ethical leadership. He has earned the complete respect of those around him with his moral compass, steady leadership, clear thinking, measured words, ethical actions, and principled courage. This young man speaks up in a calm but strong voice when the moment calls for it, whether in an honor code deliberation, a prefect discussion, a constitutional law debate, a lacrosse game, or a community service event. He speaks concisely and people listen very carefully. This year's recipient lives a purposeful life of honesty and respect each and every day. His commitment to ethical integrity transformed him into an inspiring leader in the Landon community while he served as a trusted voice on the student council all 4 years, a model prefect, a respected senior class president, and a rock of integrity in and out of the classroom. In fulfilling all of those duties with steadfast character, this student always exemplified perseverance, teamwork, honor, and fair play. I'm certain that he will continue living a meaningful and accomplished life when he continues his studies next year at Washington and Lee University. It is my great honor and privilege to present this year's Carrie McGuire Ethics Award to Will Abramson. And I welcome back to the stage Mr. Andy Katz.
The Stephen J. Smith Class of 2001 Spirit Award. The Stephen J. Smith Award is presented to the member of the senior class who, through his devotion to his fellow students, his unselfish behavior, his self-effacing sense of humor, his enthusiasm for Landon, and his ability to build bridges between those differing viewpoints and perspectives, best personifies the unique bond that unites all Landon students and alumni. The selection of this award recipient was solely determined by the votes of his classmates, and I wholeheartedly endorse their choice. As a leader of the Bear Club, this individual has displayed relentless efforts to foster unity within the senior class and the entire upper school. Coming from a family with a long-standing commitment to this school, he proudly continues the family legacy as the third sibling to graduate from Landon. This remarkable individual consistently proves himself to be the go-to person, capable of accomplishing tasks while ensuring the satisfaction of both the administration and his peers. Sebi's remarkable work in bringing our community closer together is the reason why we are honoring him tonight. One of his responsibilities as the winner of this award is to lead the class cheer at the end of graduation tomorrow. I look forward to hearing that. Please join me in congratulating the winner of the Stephen J. Smith Award, Sebi Kennery. His name will go on a plaque that's over here that will be hung in the senior lounge, the new senior lounge, next year. And I'll bring up Mr. Neal.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you to our award. Congratulations to our award recipients. As we see in the program, our next step is a brief intermission and dinner, and then we'll hear from a couple more folks at that time. I see on here, though, baritones and clef dwellers. Or you all want to come up and kick off the intermission? That would be great. Dr. Wu.
Got my ticket for the long way round. 2 bottle whiskey for the way. And I sure would like some sweet company. And I'm leaving tomorrow, what do you say? When I'm gone, when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. When I'm gone, when I'm gone. Miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my walk. You're gonna miss me by my talk. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. I got my ticket for the long way round. The one with the prettiest of views. It's got mountains, it's got rivers, it's got tights to give you shivers, but it sure would be prettier with you. When I'm gone, when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my hair. You're gonna miss me everywhere. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. When I'm gone, when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me by my walk. You're gonna miss me by my talk. Oh, you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Yes, you are gonna miss me when I'm gone, 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 gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
So enjoy a 15-minute intermission. Stretch your legs as dinner's served. Thank you.